Jean-Claude Dubier, Baby Doc, between him and his father, Papa Doc and Baby Doc, there's 30 years of a dictatorship. And they have a very mixed record. In fact, this might be the one thing that the United States actually did good. It was within the United States' interest, but when Baby Doc gets into office, so 15 years is the father, Francois Dubier, Papa Doc, and then the 1971 to 1986, so for about 14 years, Baby Doc had ruled Haiti. And in 86, apparently the Haitian people started being pissed off at Baby Doc's extravagance. He's eating all these fancy hotels and has all these expensive cars, and he's just living it up. And the Haitians rebelled against him, and he was so scared of the Haitian people that he begged the United States to get an Air Force flight through the 1980s, when you have Ronald Reagan, El Salvador, the Contras, Nicaragua, Honduras, Grenada. There's a lot of places where we overthrew the regime and then installed a dictatorship. They were socialists who want to feed their own people, and we didn't like that. We wanted to protect the Chiquita bananas and the big corporate interest. And so many times, over and over again, the United States sided with the dictatorship. They were against Nelson Mandela, the United States government was, and the United States government under Ronald Reagan give bin Laden his weapons. So many times the United States government gets it wrong. But when it came to Baby Doc, he was begging for a flight. He wanted a U.S. Air Force flight out of town. And the U.S. was too happy to oblige, and they flew him to France. France went to extradite him back to the U.S., and they're like, nope, we went ahead and dropped him off in France. You're stuck with them now. That's what the U.S. government. That widespread discontent had begun in March 1983 when Pope John Paul II had arrived in Haiti. Some interesting things. Even though Baby Doc wasn't considered a nice guy, he did take United States money. The Nixon administration restored the United States aid program for Haiti. And also, you had Ronald Reagan, who loved Francois Dubier. So, because the Dubiers hated communism, they didn't want any of the communist ideology going into Haiti. So Ronald Reagan, even though they were afraid of Francois Dubier, Papa Doc, they respected him, apparently, since they were sitting there saying that Ronald Reagan got along with them. But they weren't doing USA. They weren't giving any USA, but he did like his anti-communist stance. Now, they're a mixed bag, because Baby Doc had actually instituted Creole, and Creole should be spoken in the government, in the schools, in every single. We're talking about after Pope John Paul visits in 1983, then 1985, there's a bunch of revolts. The city of Gonaives was the first to have street demonstrations and raids on food distribution warehouses. October 1985 to January 1986, Cap Haitian was protesting in 6 other cities, and then by the end of January 1986, the Haitians in the South had revolted. The most significant rioting there broke out in Les Cayes. And so Dubier responded with a 10% cut in staple food prices, the closing of independent radio stations, a cabinet reshuffle, crackdown by police and army units, but that did not do anything to stop. The Haitian people were pissed. The Haitian people were super poor. They're only living on pennies a day. And here you got, Baby Doc just eating caviar and lobster and taking these fancy cruises and driving these luxury cars, and then his wife is all like, let them eat cake. They were very much out of touch with the Haitians. Non bataille sayo impil sa te coulé. Non bataille sayo impil sa te coulé. That is Dessalines. So my question to you, and I'm answering this question, who is Haiti's first female lawyer? And the hint is she was also Haiti's first Supreme Court justice, and she was the first female lawyer. Also turns out to be the first and only female president ever. So this same woman was the Supreme Court justice, the first female Supreme Court justice, the first female president, and the first female lawyer. So she actually broke many glass ceilings. She is very distinguished. Who is it? It is Ertha. Ertha Pascal, I don't know how you say the French name. I don't have anybody that actually knows how to pronounce these names. Ertha Pascal looks like Truelot. It's stupid. It's bullshit fucking French. It's not phonetic. Ertha Pascal is easier to say because I can understand it. And really, last names, being a woman, she is Ertha. So Ertha, Ertha, Ertha. So Dessalines would not approve of Truliot anyways. So not Bertha, but Ertha, Ertha Pascal. And her husband, her second pappy, had more to do with her political development than her Pascal pappy. So actually the Truliot should get credit, but he's kind of a weird pervert because here he was grooming her when she was but 10 years old. So Ertha Pascal was raised by her daddy Pascal, her pappy Pascal, but then her pappy Truliot, her new husband, he met her in school. He met her in school and was grooming her to be this political, so Jovenel Moïse had recently said congratulations to the Haitian police force. They have been 23 years in operation, so therefore he's saying 23 years in operation means that they're an institution. Jovenel Moïse says 23 années, c'est yon bon bouton, men c'est pas yon institution. So he's sitting there saying that 23 years is an institution. 23 years is not an institution. It is not pas yon institution. It is not an institution. I want to, there's this woman that she says that I'm not even allowed to ask her to be a bitch, but if she thinks of herself as a bitch, then I would be the dumb one to not assume the exact same assumption she has for herself. And the whole thing is that she wants me to be her bitch. Yeah, why would I be her bitch? She's the bitch, so she should be the bitch, right? Bitch, you're the bitch, so you be the bitch. Bitch. Take a quick comment on Nat Boulay. What is Nat Boulay? If somebody says, sac à fait or sac passé, comment oublier, how are you doing? Just how are you? And a lot of people will say, moi bon, I'm good, moi la, I'm here, right? Nat Boulay. There is a very, Nat Boulay, moi bon, moi la, okay, so you're here, you're good. Nat Boulay is we are burning. And this is a common refrain. This is a common response in Haiti. So they say, hey, how are you doing? And when they say Nat Boulay, what they're actually saying is fine. So when that's what Americans say, hey, how are you doing? Fine. Nobody actually answers the damn question. Nobody gives a shit about your state of being around here. That's just some perfunctory shit you say before you get to your own agenda, right? Hey, how are you doing? Oh, okay, anyways, you're burning? Oh, it doesn't matter. I want to buy, that one pencil from you for 5 cents. Mais and me. Going around the room like, hey, how are you doing? Moi la. Okay, you're here, so you're having a little struggle. I feel you. Moi bon, oh, you're good. That's actually the best response, right? You want to hear that people are doing good. But Nat Boulay, we're burning. Mais and me indeed. One of these is not like the others. Nap and Fwam, we are okay. Nap noyer. You could say nap noyer, right? We are drowning. Well, which is it? You're fine? Oh, we're fine. I mean, if you were talking to somebody, and even though in America we just say fine, if you were talking to somebody, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm burning. You're burning, huh? Oh, I'm drowning. I'm being crushed into oblivion. I have a machete. There's a machete right here. I'm being chopped up into bits. Oh, I'm being murdered right now with an assault chopper. So, that's moi en fwam. Nap en fwam. We're doing fine now. We're burning. Now we're doing okay. We're doing good. We're all on fire. The whole world's on fire. We're all burning. Everybody's on fire. Boulay, moi boulay, Nat Boulay, moi boulay, boulay, tout moon boulay. Everybody's burning. Fuck it. Who gives a shit, right? No, this is bad. Haitian people, this is bad. If somebody says Nat Boulay, we are burning, then do not ignore that. Do not walk past that. That is a red flag. Somebody is burning. They're burning. Okay? Someone says Nap crasé non oubli. They say Nap bouilli vivant. They say Nap noyé. They're drowning. They're being boiled alive. They're being crushed into oblivion. You should give a shit. Give a shit. That is not en fwam. That is the opposite. That's pas en fwam. You do not let people burn. Do not let people say to you that they're burning or they're on fire, being crushed or murdered, and then ignore their pain. Don't ignore people's pain. Don't ignore their plight. If a person is burning, that's a clear red flag. Something is wrong. Something is amiss. Hey, how's my friend, my neighbor doing, right? If I was to ask my neighbor, hey, that's my feelings. If you're walking down the street and you're saying, hey, Mom, you call your mother up and she says she's burning, You're like, oh, anyways, I'm watching TV. Oh, you're burning. Well, anyways. No, they're burning. So that means you need to put out the fire. They're going through some fucking shit that they can't take, and they feel like they're literally on fire. And that's pretty much, that should show you really how tough Haiti is. Because if everybody's saying that they're burning, and that's how you say okay. That's how you say fine. And when I ask, you know, my neighbor Fred, hey, Fred, how are you doing? And he says, living the dream, you know, or, which is bullshit. So actually maybe, you know, Nat Boulay is more honest. It's saying, hey, I'm burning, but it's also showing that the other person doesn't give a shit. So, I don't know. I think living the dream or fine, that's bullshit. So, suspend polycaca. Suspend polycaca. Fine's a typical response, because how are you is a rhetorical question, because nobody really gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. How are you? To be honest, you really shouldn't even say anything. You shouldn't even answer the fucking question. If language is a competition, hey, how are you doing? Fine. Hey, how are you doing? I'm burning. Oh, you don't give a shit either way. Well, fuck you. You're living the dream. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the fuck you say. It's just a perfunctory greeting. So, I'm burning. I'm drowning. I'm being slowly crushed. I'm being macheted. I'm being chopped up into bits. Well, that sucks to be you. Ho-ho, Nat Boulay, huh? You guys are burning? Well, it sucks that you're burning. Well, anyways, I'm off to the supermarket to go wash my hair and get me some highlights, because all the girls are coming over tonight to help me color my hair. I have a hair emergency. No, my daddy's going to spend this money and that money. We're going to go get this hair emergency taken care of. Meanwhile, poor people on the street. This is the shit that people have to worry about, right? Everybody's burning, and, I'm going to go get my hair highlighted. I've actually heard this shit. So, okay, Ertha Pascal. Who is Ertha Pascal? She was born in 1943. Ertha Pascal. They said actually she was born in Pétionville, somewhere in the upper hills, not in Port-au-Prince, but in the upper hills. Apparently in a nice spot, but she's a 9 of 10 kids, and her father, Thimbles Pascal, is an iron worker, and he's going to die when she's very young. So Ertha Pascal's not going to grow up with the father. Ertha Pascal did not have a father. Thimbles Pascal, again, was an iron worker, which is humble work, but it's a good job too, so it doesn't sound like she's that elite. Her mother, Louise Du Mornay, was a seamstress and embroiderer, so again, she's poor too. Her mother's poor. Her father's just an iron worker, but they might actually been middle class, because iron workers make more money than minimum wage. Now, Ertha, again, was the 9th of 10 kids, so she would have been on the bottom, one of the forgotten ones. She's not the baby, but maybe, I don't know, maybe she was spoiled. It seems like she's not a middle child. She's not a forgotten middle child. Biggest distinctions that she won, okay, she's the first Supreme Court Justice ever, first female Supreme Court Justice. She's the first female lawyer of Haiti. She's also the first president of Haiti, the first female president. The United States of America hasn't even had a female president, but Haiti has. And she was president of Haiti for only 11 months. She was a provisional president between in 1990 and 1991. Now, it was right after a coup d'etat. So there was a coup d'etat that had just happened, and then there's Duvier, there's the supporters of Duvier, and then the anti-supporters, and so they kept going back and forth with the coup d'etats. 86, right? So you have Baby Doc leaves, and then the new government is overthrown, and then that government is overthrown, and then that government is overthrown, and then all of a sudden you get Ertha. Ertha comes up and is like, all right, everybody, chill the fuck out. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have an election. We're going to have an election day, and we're all going to go vote. So she was able to organize an election after a coup d'etat. Politics gets a little bit sketchy here, but she did a good job. Ertha actually was able to organize an election. After all those coup d'etats, she was president for a year. She was very serious. Nobody's going to fuck with her, right? So she was able to organize the election of 1990, which is where Aristide comes into power. So she's serving as the Chief Justice. So while she was Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, again, did she designate herself? I don't know how she all of a sudden became the damn president. But March 13th, 1990, she is part of a committee that actually would have vetoed, anything that she had done if it was wrong. So she had all eyes on her. But March 13th, 1990, she was made responsible to organize a general election, and it was to her credit because of Ertha, we had a violence-free election, which brought Jean-Bertrand Aristide. Haiti's had a problem with democracy ever since its birth. This is away from the public eye, right, most of it. She had a committee that was helping her run the affairs of the country and also helped her run the elections. The committee had veto power, and she also had support of the army. So Ertha had support, when the whole country's going to shit, then the Supreme Court justice, you start looking at these other institutions that are actually working. And so the Haitian people looked to Ertha. Ertha stood up, was able to organize an election. Aristide's going to win by 67%. He's the first democratically elected president of Haiti. He's going to, unfortunately, experience a coup d'etat just within a few years into his presidency. But the election was fair, the election was clean, the election was violence-free, and the first female president is the one who brought that into being. So she had a committee, and ironically, too, even though she brought the election about that elected Aristide, Aristide is going to arrest her. Real quickly, you have Papa Doc, and then you got Baby Doc for 15 years, right? Then 1986, Baby Doc leaves, and you get Henry Namfi. Henry Namfi comes up to the plate. I don't know who the fuck he is, where he came from, if he was elected, or if it's just a coup d'etat, but Henry Namfi is president for 2 years. And then you have Leslie Manigat. He is president for 1 year in 1988. In fact, you're going to have 4 presidents in 1988. Henry Namfi was president, Leslie Manigat was president, and Prosper Avril was president. Now, none of these assholes believed in democracy, so they're just overthrowing each other by coup d'etats and by violence. And essentially, because they have the manpower and they got the guns, then people are just letting them take over. So after Prosper Avril was president up until 1990, then you're going to have Ertha. Ertha's going to be president in 1990, and she's going to bring about the democratic election. Ertha is the one who brings about the election, which Aristide wins the first democratic election of Haiti ever by 67%, so by a strong majority, by a strong mandate. Unfortunately, Aristide is only going to be in there for about 8 months. He's elected 8 months earlier in the Haitian general election, deposed by the Haitian Army, Haitian military officers, primarily Army General Raoul Cedris, Army Chief of Staff Philippe Biambi, and Chief of the National Police Michael Francois led the coup. And he's sent into exile. His life is only saved, they said, by the foreign diplomats. So I don't know. But he's going to get actually 2 times. So, Aristide just continues to get, overthrown. He's overthrown by the Haitian army. And the Haitian army was supportive of Ertha. And Aristide is going to get his power back, and he's going to arrest Ertha for the coup. But she was never convicted. But he did. Isn't that wild? That is absolutely insanity, okay? So Ertha conducts the election. Jean-Bertrand Aristide is elected the president. He's only in there for 8 months, and then he gets deposed by coup d'etat. When he gets his power back, Aristide arrests Ertha because he said that she was a part of the coup. So maybe he's just arresting anybody and everybody. She wasn't convicted. Because of United States intervention, she's going to be released in a day. So she was arrested, but then released in 1 day. She quit her role in active politics, and she left Haiti. Then she's back in Haiti. So a lot of times, a lot of these pro-capitalist forces, they'll hide in America, and they'll, so is she a Duvierist? Is she, part of the Papa Doc, Baby Doc clique? It seemed like the Papa Docs, or they went ahead and killed a lot of her family, but then she was also the Supreme Court Justice. So let's talk about that, the tenure of Ertha was born August 13th, 1943. Her biggest thing was the first democratic election of Haiti was conducted by Ertha. So she's the first president, first Supreme Court justice, first lawyer. Now, all that being said, what is her actual politics? So how was she able to actually get into this? Her father was an iron worker, a humble man, but he dies when she was very young. Her mother was a seamstress, so she's very poor. She's the 9 of 10 kids. When she's only 10 years old, she and one of her brothers go to the Lycée François Duvier. So the university was called the François Duvier Lycée, or Lycée, or however the fuck you say that in French. But it's the university. So if you're going to go to the university that says, Adolf Hitler University, well, you're going to probably admire Adolf Hitler since his name is right on the fucking building. Now, when she's only 10 years old, she's going to be mentored by her future husband, Ernst Trulot is 21 years her senior. She's 10 years old. She goes to François Duvier University. She's 10 years old. 10 years old. And you have the future husband, Ernst Trulot, who's 21 years her senior. So she's 10, he's 31. And then while she's in the university, she wants to pursue a career in science. But then Ernst Trulot, her mentor, convinced her to pursue it in law and later in politics. So Ernst takes Ertha and says, no, you're not going to go into science, you're going to go into politics. And then in 1971, she's going to earn her law degree from the École des Droits des Genèves in Port-au-Prince, becoming Haiti's the first female lawyer of Haiti. And then she's a judge in many federal courts during the years under Baby Doc. She was 1975 to 1988 is when she's. This is under Baby Doc. She was actually an official under Baby Doc. So to think that she might be a Duvierist, there's something. The Papa Doc was a Black Power guy. So to feel like you're, Black Power, that's okay. And then institutionalized in Creole. But then I hear there's, they were selling organs and they killed thousands of Haitian people. So they ruled with an iron fist, and they had the Tonton Macoute going around, death squads killing the Haitian people. And then they were also extravagant. But she worked for Baby Doc. She was a public official under Baby Doc, not Papa Doc. So she very much could be sympathetic with Baby Doc, and she might get away with saying, so from 1975 to 1988, she has various positions as a judge in the Haitian federal courts until she became the first female justice of the Supreme Court of Haiti. That's 75 to 88. 1980, she becomes a lower court judge under Baby Doc. So she was a Duvierist. Ertha was a lower court judge in 1980. She was working in the federal courts from 75 to 88. He was in power from 71 to 86. So the entire time she has power, Baby Doc is in power. 86, he steps down, and then she still has her job. She's going to be the Supreme Court justice. She's going to be the main judge in 1990 after you had Baby Doc get deposed, and then you had, one president, two president, three president. Then you had Henry Namfi, Leslie Manigat, and then Prosper Avril. So this is Ertha. Ertha was, her husband also served as counsel to the National Bank. The National Bank, the Haitian National Bank, is where the dictators made their money, from the Central Bank of Haiti. Her husband, a sick pedophile fuck, right? So Ernst is a sick pedophile fuck. He's 30-something years old, fucking with a 10-year-old. Now, he is the lawyer for the National Bank. So he's the lawyer for the bank where the Baby Doc had made all of his money. So to think that they're not close to the center of power, of course they're close to Baby Doc. And then Aristide had reason to believe that she could have been part of the coup d'etat. So she set up the election, and oops, we elected the wrong guy. We elected a man who actually might give a damn about the people, a true blue Catholic who truly gives a shit about the people. So he's the lawyer for the National Bank, and she's a judge and Supreme Court justice from 75 to 86. So for 11 years under Baby Doc's regime, she was an important public official. So this is Ertha. Ertha, the first female Haitian president. Ernst Trulat went ahead and groomed her from the time she was 10 years old up until the time she became a lawyer. So she's 10, she's 11, 12, 13, then she's 1971. She was born in 1943, so that would be how many years? She would have been 28 years old when she became a lawyer. Is that right? So I think so. And so he's just, she's just a 10-year-old girl, and he's encouraging her to do this and do that. And as the president of the Bar Association, so this is a very important, powerful man working at the Francois Duvier School. So he's the president of all the lawyers, the Bar Association, and then he watched her being sworn in at the Palace of Justice in 1971, swooned, and then less than 4 months later, he married her. So I heard that he's dead, she's still alive, and then Yantha. A bit of the details when she was coordinating the elections. She had a 19-member Council of State that had been given veto power over her. So Ertha, with 19 other people, went ahead and conducted the first democratic election of Haiti. Pasquale Trulat, she spent her first day as president working in a very big 3-story yellow house, studying a list of more than 40 names for cabinet posts. She drew up communication announcing the reopening of schools had closed. A bunch of them closed a week earlier because the protest against Prosper Avril, Haiti's most recent military ruler, right? He was the president, right? Prosper Avril got to be president for a few years by force. not by choice. Not by, the Haitian people did not choose Prosper Avril. He chose himself. And then all the other Haitians were a bunch of bitches, and they were totally fucking scared of him. They're like, oh no, not this Avril Prosper. 1990, in March 1990, she took a salute, a pledge of loyalty from the chief of the army. So she had the support of the army. She had the support of the head of the men, right? The men who had all the guns and all the manpower, the army. She got loyalty from the head of the army. And then she said she did this in the name of Haitian women to get her country on track. So she's got a mixed legacy, but I think just for that very reason, conducting the very first presidential election, doing it successfully, there was a person who was elected, and they all got together and they all figured this shit out. There was a constitution that was passed too, 1987 constitution, which is the current constitution of Haiti. So her being the Supreme Court justice, she would have understood that change, that transition from the old constitutional way to the new constitutional way. And so, I don't know if she was a Duvierist or if she was a good person or not, but she did institute. In 1986, the Minister of Justice, Francois Latortu, appointed Miss Pascal Troulat to the Supreme Court. So Ertha became the Supreme Court justice in 1986. And that was the same year Baby Doc was kicked out. Now, she had some family. Her brother Alex was paralyzed from the waist down by a bullet from one of Duvier's soldiers. Another brother, Andre, was arrested and threatened with execution. So the Duviers had fucked with her family. They tried to kill her brother Alex, and then they tried to kill another brother, Andre. They arrested him and threatened him with execution, but the brother Alex, they didn't kill him. They did kill him from the waist down. So if he didn't have control of his dick, then he was dead, right? So the Duviers took, Alex's manhood, took his manhood away from him, and then tried to kill another. This is the legacy of Ernst. Ernst was the first female lawyer. She was the first president, first Supreme Court justice. And she was Supreme Court justice, and then that's how she became the president. She was able to rebuild Haiti after the Duviers were over. She had reopened the schools because she believed education was important. So there was a lot of military men, a lot of coup d'etats, but Ertha was able to steer Haiti through its first major test from a dictatorship, a military, violent, backwards dictatorship, to a brand new democracy with free and open and equal democratic elections. Ertha Pascal Troulat was a great role model for Haitian girls and women. She was the first president. Not even the United States has had a president, a female president yet. Haiti's nascent and fragile democracy still stands since 1990. The Haitian people have lived through 2 more coups d'etats, economic turmoil, natural